Again, it's a hearty welcome to all of you. Thank the Lord that you are in a place this morning where I believe the Lord is going to stir your heart. God is going to quicken you by His Spirit for the new year, for 2019. And I want to say to you, I don't care what the gainsayers are saying. I don't care what the false prophets are saying. I don't care those who are out there speaking all negative. I don't care really what's happening in the politics of the world or the financial systems of the world. This I know, that God wrote a book and He wrote all the answers in here for us. And I know how it's going to pan out at the end. I read the last page of the book and we win. We win! Amen! And a lot of people have asked me, well, Johan, are you pre-tribulationist, mid-tribulationist or post-tribulationist? And I say, no, I'm a pantheist. And they go, what's that? I say, I believe it's all going to pan out in the end. The Bible also says there's going to be a half an hour silence in heaven. And someone jokingly said there's going to be no woman. Don't throw stones. I don't say that. Don't throw stones. Someone else said that half an hour silence in heaven is when all the teachers of the book of Revelation are correcting their teachings, where they all got it wrong. Are you out there? Because as many teachers as there are on the book of Revelation, so many different viewpoints. And I think just stick close to Jesus. Is that okay? Stick close to Jesus and you're going to be all right. Now, what I want to share with you this morning, and Pastor Joe's going to put it on the screen. What I want to share with you this morning is the word for 2019. Over the past, I believe this is the 8th year, that every year towards the end of that year, the Lord gives me a word for the church for the next year. Now I want to say right out here at the outset that my wife reminded me of this morning, is that, or last night, we must remember that even though this is a word, a prophetic word for 2019 that the Lord has given, you must still seek the face of the Lord for yourself. Amen. So that you can get a word for yourself for 2019, for yourself and for your family. Are you out there? Yeah. This is just a global word. This is an encompassing word for us and for the church. The reason why I believe the Lord gives us a word, and I'm talking about us as a fellowship and as a ministry, an extended ministry, is because I like to know what the Lord is saying for the new season. And I like to be in line with what the Lord is saying, and I like to be in line with what He is doing, and I like to transfer that also to our people, so that as a unit we move together. It works well because it's Him and it's His plan. People have asked me, how do you get this word? How is it that you get this? What I do not do is go and listen to what everybody else is saying. I have found that that's a very dangerous thing, because it can influence eventually what I believe the word is for the new year. So in essence, I spend time with God. I ask the Lord what it is that He wants to say to us as a church for the following year, and He gives it to me. You say, Johan, how does He do that? And the only explanation I can give you this morning is, how many of you have been at Clifton Beach? Can I just see your hands? Where the Mr. and Miss South Africas walk up and down on the beach. Have you seen that? That's what happens at Clifton Beach. How many of you have ever been in the water at Clifton Beach? I thought so. That's not even half of the hands. It is freezing cold. You know what is freezing cold? That's a couple of degrees lower than freezing cold. So on these hot, sweltering days, there are only a few people in the water who probably just for a few moments have lost their minds. And we need to do the power of transformation so we can get them back on track. But I remember that day that we were there. It was one of the hottest days in Cape Town. And I went, after being drowsed in perspiration, thought, I don't care how cold that water is, I'm going to chance it. Big chance. I put my one foot in the water and I thought, that's it. Sweat, pour, it's okay. Then I saw that they had a plan B, and when I looked to the back, Alongside the wall at the back there, they had showers. And people were lining up for the showers. And we lined up for the shower, and I had my dip at Clifton Beach under the shower. And it worked for me. And it was so refreshing, I could still feel it. So I say to people, the way that I receive a word from God, the way that I receive it, is like that day at Clifton Beach. The only difference is it happens on the inside. It's like a gush that comes from heaven and settles on the inside of my spirit. And I don't know how the Lord talks to you. There are times that He gives me elaborated things, elaborated words, elaborated prophetic utterances, but it's really seldom. Most of the time, it's just a one-liner, just one sentence, or just a few words. And in this case, that is the case. The Lord only gave me 2 words for 2019. And we are going to position ourselves in the prophetic with the words that the Lord has given. And these are the 2 words that God dropped into my spirit for 2019. Listen to me, guys. We are entering a time in the history of the church that is one of the most exciting, yet one of the most challenging times. Because the opposition is well situated, and God is saying, I'm going to bring in supernatural intervention in 2019. And I want to say this to you, I am not clever enough to work these things out all by myself. I just am not. Now what I like to do is, and the people who know me as well, and have seen the courses that I've written as well, I love words, I love playing with words, I love constructing words, and I love taking words apart, and I love going into the deeper meaning of words. So what I did immediately, as the Lord gave me these 2 words, supernatural intervention for 2019, is I counted the letters. Now where you are seated, quickly count the letters of supernatural and intervention, and quickly tell me, once you've counted it, show me your hand. I want to see who are the quick counters. Rainer. And we got D, and I got another. Do I see another end? Do I see another end? Man, you guys are fast. How many letters are there? 12 in each word. It's 1 for every day of the month. God's got us covered for 2019. Hallelujah. Can I just hear a praise for the Lord this morning, because He's got us covered. Hallelujah. So I want to say to you, whatever it is that you have faced over the past couple of years, whatever it is that you went through in 2018, whatever problems have arisen and whatever issues there still are in your life, I want to say that in 2019, throughout the 12 months of 2019, there is going to be supernatural intervention in your life. And I want to say, get ready. Start focusing your eyes not on this natural realm, but start looking higher. Start looking at the things of God. En ek wil vir julle sê, die mense wat homself nie gaan aanpas by die geestelike dinge van die Here nie, gaan dit mis. And I want to encourage you this morning, don't miss 2019 and God's supernatural intervention into your life. Now when I sat with Him and I started reflecting on this, by the way, when I get a word like this, I share it with nobody. I don't talk about it. There are some people who fished and say, just give me a, come on, just a hint. I cannot be there on that Sunday morning. Will you send it to me, please? What was my answer? No. Why? Because the Lord said you will share it on the 2nd of December. There's only one person that's close to my heart. It's the Holy Spirit and my wife. And my wife has a way. How many of you guys know? They just know how to ask for something that you cannot say no to. Husbands, you know what I'm talking about. That's the time that you do not give her the credit card, guys. Okay? So my wife and I, we sat the one morning, and we sat outside by the pool where we have a time with the Lord, and we pray, we honor the Lord, and we started talking. And I started talking about the word. I didn't mention it yet, but I started talking about the word that the Lord had given me. And the Lord reminded me then, right there we were sitting, about the dream that I had the previous night. How many of you know that God speaks through dreams? He confirms things through dreams. If you do not believe that, I'm just saying to you, start getting ready for the supernatural intervention of God even in your dream life. That previous night I dreamt a dream where it was a crowd of people and I was part of a play that was going to perform on the stage. And everybody had their scripts. And they gave me my script, and I looked at the script. It's like a movie. It's like Hollywood. And I mean, they're busy filming. And now my counterparts and the other actors and actresses are all busy doing their parts. And my part is going to come up, and everybody is sitting there watching. And I've got my script, and I get die waar het is nie. I can't find the place I'm supposed to read from. I don't know what my lines are, and I'm thinking these cameras are on me, these people are watching me, all the actors are standing there and waiting for me because it's my turn. How many of you never want to be in a position like that? Now I'm getting frantic in my dream, and I'm starting to get the perspiration like I had on Clifton Beach, and I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss for words, and I'm trying to look for help. And as I'm doing this, the next minute my heart gets filled with everything that I have to say without the script. Now listen to the dream. And the next moment there's supernatural intervention. And the Holy Spirit drops right into me what I need to say. And I start saying it, but I do it with gusto. And I mean, I do it like Matt Damon. I mean, I'm out there and I'm doing this acting and I'm performing. And the next minute, everybody bursts forth in praise and worship. We start worshiping God. And as I'm looking, I cannot describe it in terms that is maybe going to be easy to understand, but as the people started worshiping and we all looked to heaven, and all of us, my fellow actors and myself and all the people are now worshiping, I see these sparkles like glitter, but the hall is full of it, start going up towards heaven as we worshiping God. And that morning when I woke up and I thought about it, these two words came to me again: supernatural intervention. Don't go according to the script. Don't go according to the rules and the regulations of people. Go according to what the Spirit is going to download into you. Folks, get ready, because it's going to happen. It's going to start now, but it's going to escalate, and it's going to start happening big in 2019, in January. So I shared it with Desiree, and I said, this is the word that the Lord has given. And she started expounding on it as well. She was so blessed when I shared it with her. So what the Lord then showed me, and I'm not going to minister on this morning, but here are 5 things that He gave me. Now, as I said, these are main things we're going to be talking about in 2019. Now, if you are part of our fellowship here at Eagle's Nest, you are going to be hearing all of this, because this is what the Lord said. These are just 5 main areas that we are going to be talking about. And I want you to get ready, because those of you who are into the things of the Spirit of God, I want to say to you, get ready, because you are going to be escalated in the dimension of the Spirit. He said to me, I am the God who is more than enough. Say that with me, please. The God who is more than enough. Whatever it is that you're going to face in 2019, your God is going to be bigger than what you are going through. He is sufficient for and in everything. I'm giving it to you as it came into my spirit. He said there are going to be spiritual applications in natural situations. We are not going to work according to scripts. We are going to work according to the supernatural manifestations and download that God is going to give. Do you remember what the word was for 2019? God said, I'm going to download to my people. And God's done it in 2018. Some of you seated here this morning, I don't know if you even realize it. God has downloaded stuff into your spirit that He wants to use in and through you for a broken world and for the body of Christ. Jy sit hier vandag. You are seated here, but you're waiting, and you're waiting. Sorry if I'm coming across strong this morning. I feel by the Spirit of God I must say this. You're sitting and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. I want to ask you, and the Lord wants to ask this morning, how much longer are you going to wait? What are you waiting for? God has already deposited within your spirit everything that is needed for you to do what God wants you to do. Start where you are at. We're going to have students that's going to graduate this morning. They have applied themselves to the studies. But you know what? Don't wait for your 3, 4-year, 5-year diplomas and degrees and say, okay, now I'm ready for ministry. Jesus taught His disciples, and He sent them out 2 by 2. When they started going out as happy disciples, they were still apprentices. They came back and said, Lord, The demons are subject to us. Come on now.
Yes.
You don't need a degree to cast out demons.
Hallelujah.
You don't need a degree to lay hands on the sick and see them recover. You don't need a degree to preach Jesus on the street and get somebody alive unto the things of God. Don't let education be an excuse or lack thereof. This next thing that the Lord showed me, United Church versus Ignited Church. Right now, in the world, they are trying to bring all the churches together. They want to combine all the churches and make it a one world religion. It's happening in front of your eyes. Let us be wise, guys. I don't want to mention names this morning. I showed it to Des. There are evangelical churches. Listen to me. There are evangelical churches. Huge, large ministries that have been going for decades. That are now getting people from the religious denominations and organizations to come into the church and say, let us all now come under this one flag. If you are not wide awake, if you are not alert, I want to say it is possible that your feet can be taken from under you. I want to say to you this morning, get back in the manual of life. Whatever you do, always come back to the manual that we always refer to in this church. People here will tell you how strong we feel about this book. We have not moved away from it. And in this place, we don't say, well, brother so-and-so said so. Well, brother so-and-so, but you know, he's got so many and he's got so many. And he said this. I say, what did Jesus say?
Yes.
Is there such a thing as ultimate truth? Yes, I'm holding it in my hands this morning. This is ultimate truth. And I believe it with all my heart. And I want to say truth always overrides the facts. And the students here will tell you, because I teach them that in the classrooms. The truth always overrides the facts. Because Jesus said, I am the way, say it with me, the truth and the life. Then the last thing, all right, he says we are going to be an ignited church. We're going to be ignited. How many of you are ready to be set on fire for God? Then the Lord showed me a picture on this last one, looking in versus locking in. And I saw someone sitting in front of his computer who had locked in. When you are locked in, you are locked in. Amen. And I saw the person standing around the corner, just looking at the person sitting there behind his computer screen. He's looking in, but the other one is locked in. And the Lord showed me there's going to be two groups of people. There are going to be constantly those who are peeping in to see, what gaan daar aan? What is happening over there? And they're not going to get involved. You say, I don't know about you. I don't want to stand on the sideline and just have my feet in the water and miss the whole thing. And afterwards, what happened? And they say to me, Johan, you should have been there. The Holy Spirit really moved. It was an awesome move of God. There was supernatural intervention. I want to be right in the middle of the river. How many of you want to be there? I don't want to miss out on anything that God is doing. So what I did, because I like words, is I looked up the definition of the word supernatural. You say, Johan, we all know what it means. I know you're clever. Let's just see what it means from the dictionary. Okay, this is it. Of or relating to an order of existence beyond the visible. Say with me, beyond the visible.